weirdo. I don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever.
You can be in love with someone. You can love someone and and if you haven't experienced love and you don't understand it and you don't have the tools to move forward, then you're going to have complications.
What really happened to Rymir Satchaland? Why did he disappear right when Jay-Z was about to be legally cornered into a DNA test that could end everything? The timing is suspicious. The silence, deafening. Just days after what many saw as a turning point in his years-long paternity fight, Rymir vanished. No warning, no goodbye, gone. And now, his family is in panic mode, spiraling into fear instead of celebration. Imagine battling for over a decade just to find out who your father is, only to disappear when the truth is finally within reach. Rymir fought sealed court records, legal loopholes, and allegedly outright lies from Jay-Z's legal team. He was on the verge of exposing everything, with a DNA test likely on the horizon. But instead of resolution, we're left with chaos. Scattered legal files, panicked voicemails, and a family too scared to speak out loud. And this wasn't just some internet clout chaser. Rymir is a 31-year-old man tied to one of hip-hop's deepest secrets. His late mother, Wanda, swore under oath back in 2019 that she had a relationship with Jay-Z when she was just 16. Since her death, Rymir's legal guardian, Dr. Coley, has carried the fight against Jay-Z and against judges in both Pennsylvania and New Jersey. She claims Jay-Z's team lied under oath. Public records appear to back her up. And just when you thought this story couldn't get darker, it does. Because now, Jay-Z has also been dragged into a civil lawsuit originally filed against Diddy of assaulting a 13-year-old girl. The amended complaint now names Jay-Z directly. Jane Doe says she was abused by both men. The allegations are chilling, and Jay-Z is fighting back hard, calling the move an attempted blackmail. But Rymir's disappearance suddenly feels a lot more calculated. See, Rymir didn't vanish randomly. He disappeared right after winning a crucial legal victory that could have unsealed court records and forced Jay-Z into taking that DNA test, something he's dodged for over 20 years. If those test results validated Wanda's claims, Jay-Z's empire could collapse overnight. And if Wanda was underage at the time, that's not just scandal, that's potential criminal charges. Real prison time implications. No PR spin could fix that. The lawsuit filed in late November paints a terrifying picture. Judges accused of constitutional violations, fraudulent claims, and blocking Rymir's right to justice. It doesn't read like a typical complaint, reads like a thriller. Every door slammed shut just as the truth was about to come out. And then boom, Rymir goes dark. No social media, no public statement, nothing but rumors and a rattled family left behind. Jay-Z issued a blistering response, daring Jane Doe's attorney to file criminal charges if the claims were real. He called the accusations monstrous and said any person guilty of such crimes should be in jail. But here's the problem: the timing, the silence, and the whispers growing louder in Hollywood's backrooms. Some believe Jay-Z didn't act alone. Someone close to him might have ensured that DNA test never happens. Because if that test ever gets taken, it doesn't just cost Jay-Z some money, it kills the brand. It destroys the legacy. It turns a billionaire into a felon. And in an industry where silence is currency and power protects power, Rymir's disappearance might not be just a tragedy. It might be a warning. So why didn't Rymir ever make it to court? That question isn't just echoing on Reddit threads or YouTube comments sections, it's coming straight from his own family, who reportedly fear the worst. And their fear is growing louder, especially as Jay-Z finds himself entangled in a second legal firestorm. A civil suit has now linked him to an alleged assault case alongside Diddy, dating back to the year 2000. The claims are so dark, even Jay-Z tried to flip the narrative, saying, "I implore you to file a criminal complaint." Translation: he's not just panicking behind closed doors, he's panicking on paper. Annoyed, that would be putting it gently. Jay-Z isn't just a rapper, he's a billionaire brand, a father, and one half of hip-hop royalty. But in that same civil suit, there's a legal term you can't ignore: forcible compulsion. That's legal speak for he held her down. And now, he's fighting battles on two fronts: one from a young man demanding a DNA test, the other from a woman accusing him of horrifying abuse in the early 2000s. And just like that, the one thread tying both these cases together, Rymir is gone. This doesn't feel like a coincidence. It feels like a calculated cleanup. Some are side-eyeing Jay-Z's high-powered legal team, while others think the true puppet masters are lurking deeper inside his inner circle. The strategists, the crisis fixers, the ones who can't let the Carter brand bleed. And then, there's Beyoncé. Yes, Queen Bey herself is being whispered about. Not because she did anything wrong, but because when your empire is built on discipline, loyalty, and black excellence, the last thing you need is a surprise heir and a teenage sex allegation crumbling the foundation. Beyoncé didn't Spend 2 decades building a flawless image, just to let it collapse over her husband's skeletons. So now the rumor mill is on fire. One source claims Beyoncé's already hired private investigators to track anyone tied to the Reimer case. Another whispers about NDAs being handed out like party favors to anyone who might spill. We can't confirm those details, but in Hollywood, silence is currency. And the Carter silence right now, it's deafening. This isn't just damage containment, a scramble to seal the leaks before the truth drowns them. And here's where things get even more disturbing. The lawsuit mentions another celebrity may have been present during the alleged assault. The victim says she fled and was later seen by a gas station attendant, someone who might be a key witness. But while the assault case grows, let's not forget the original bombshell. Reimer's claimed for 13 years. Jay-Z dodged the simplest, request a paternity test. Courtrooms across multiple states bent over backward. Documents vanished, and attorneys misspoke. All while Jay-Z's real estate records contradicted his sworn statements. Reimer fought through it all. Through sealed files, missing paperwork, and alleged lies. All he wanted was truth. And now, he's vanished. Just like that. No statement, no trace. And those closest to the case don't think this is just about protecting Jay-Z's image anymore. They believe it's about protecting his freedom. If Wanda was telling the truth, then Jay-Z wasn't just dodging fatherhood, he was sidestepping a potential criminal charge tied to the age of consent. That's not just celebrity gossip. That's prison-level serious. No amount of Grammy wins or billionaire deals can scrub that stain clean. So if you're one of the most powerful men in entertainment, with everything to lose and a legal hurricane brewing, what do? Throw money at lawyers? Lean on judges you helped elevate? Or, if the stakes got really high, would you choose something darker? This is where theory begins to bleed into fear. Some close to Reimer claim he started receiving strange, cryptic messages. Others say he was planning to go fully public, no filters, no legal team, just him and the truth. A family member even warned him to lay low after a suspicious car was seen circling his home. Then total silence. No social media, no texts, phone disconnected, last location, unknown, just vanished. And if this really was about sealing secrets, how far would Jay-Z's machine go to keep them buried? Because let's be real. This isn't the first time Jay-Z's legal fortress has been accused of twisting the court system. Reimer's case didn't just stall, it was suffocated. Records sealed, filings denied, gag orders used like duct tape. Dr. Lily Coley, Reimer's guardian, says Jay-Z's lawyers lied about his property ownership and court flat out. But public records, they told a different story. And still, the rulings kept landing in Jay-Z's favor. Over and over, a pattern that feels less like justice and more like rigged survival. Sure, the lawsuit is technically a civil complaint, but the trauma outlined especially from the underage victim accusing Jay-Z and Diddy goes way beyond money, PTSD, depression, and lifelong damage. That's criminal territory, and prosecutors are reportedly circling between 2012 and 2023. Reimer's legal team says they were punished with fake sanctions. Sanctions for violating gag orders that didn't even exist. Judges allegedly bulldozed constitutional rights to protect the brand. And every single time, Jay-Z walked away untouched. So now people are asking if Jay-Z could pull all those strings just to avoid a swab of DNA. What else could he or his allies be capable of? That's when the whispers get ice cold. Multiple insiders have floated the same name Diddy, or more specifically, Diddy's alleged cleanup crew. The same invisible unit that insiders say helped destroy tapes, silence witnesses, and according to 3 sources from the early 2000s music industry, make problems disappear. Reimer didn't just vanish. He became inconvenient. Jay-Z and Diddy weren't casual collaborators, they were aligned. Power players who toasted billion-dollar deals and closed ranks when scandals loomed. In 2000, when Diddy faced charges after a nightclub shooting, Jay-Z caught his own case for stabbing a rival producer. These weren't just artists, they were empire builders fighting to survive. So if Jay-Z needed someone to handle a threat, who else would he turn to but the man with a proven system for handling threats? Especially now, with Diddy behind bars and his allies flipping left and right. And still Jay-Z has said nothing. Not one word about Reimer. Not one response to the growing avalanche of whispers. But maybe worse than his silence is Beyoncé. The woman who built a global brand on empowerment, authenticity, and family strength has remained frozen. Her refusal to speak about Reimer. It's not just airy, it's strategic. And that silence is louder than any PR statement. Because silence, at this level of fame, is never accidental. Let's be honest. Beyoncé didn't craft a decade-long image of flawless discipline to let it crumble now. One surprise son, one lawsuit from the past, and the entire Carter legacy could come crashing down. Rumors say she's already launched her own damage control team, private investigators, NDAs, media blackouts, and while we can't confirm every whisper, the pattern speaks volumes. Queen Bey isn't just protecting her husband, she's protecting the throne. But behind that perfect smile might be a different kind of panic. Maybe Beyoncé is not complicit. Maybe Beyoncé's not complicit. Maybe she's trapped. A woman who built her empire next to a man with secrets she can't outrun. Insiders say she's emotionally paralyzed, afraid that one wrong move will destroy everything, her family, her legacy, her children's future. And so, she stays quiet. Because silence doesn't just protect power, it preserves illusion. Still, there's a breaking point. And if the upcoming Diddy Expo spills into JC's orbitaz, many insiders predict it might finally blow the lid off this entire empire. One domino falls, and suddenly the Carter dynasty isn't a legacy. It's a cover-up. But how long can someone stay silent before that silence becomes betrayal? And how long can you lurk in the shadows before you're seen as part of the cover-up? At the center of this silence sits a grieving family, one that isn't just confused, but shattered. Dre Coley, Reimer's guardian, said it best. This isn't about money, it's about accountability. She's pleaded with the courts, spoken to journalists, filed legal motions, and all she's gotten, in return, is a cold wall of nothing. No statement, no contact, no proof of life. It's like someone is trying to erase Reimer not just from Jay-Z's life, but from history altogether. His social media, silent. His phone, disconnected. That momentum, that long overdue legal traction, suddenly gone, flatlined. And the few people close to him who have dared to speak out are terrified. But terrified of what? That's the billion-dollar question, because this isn't just a rap beef or a baby mama drama. This is legacy warfare. This is about protecting an empire worth billions by any means necessary. Jay-Z didn't just build a career, he built a kingdom. He dined with presidents, curated museums, married a woman seen as the symbol of strength and empowerment. But if the allegations against him and the truth behind Reimer come out, that royal image shatters. A crack right down the House of Carter's marble foundation. And this isn't gossip, it's in the court documents. Real affidavits. Real lawsuits. Real trauma. From a man who only wanted one thing, to know who his father really was. Instead, he got silence. Courts that allegedly punished him for violating non-existent orders. Lawyers accused of lying under oath. And a global superstar who never even bothered to write a letter. And let's not pretend this is all happening in a vacuum. Jay-Z is now named in another lawsuit tied to horrifying abuse claims from the year 2000, allegations that, if proven, could destroy more than just his image. They could threaten his freedom. And while his camp screams shakedown, Jay-Z's public response said otherwise. I won't give you one red penny. That's not calm. That's cornered. And that corner, it's shrinking. Because while fans obsess over brunch photos and remix drops, something darker is unfolding in the shadows. Sealed court files, missing witnesses, cryptic ND, and questions about accidents that don't look like accidents, like mysterious plane crashes followed by don't ask agreements. If it was accidental, why the silence? Why the gag orders? Why the fear? Riddle me that. So, what happens now? If Reimer never reappears, does Jay-Z get to walk away clean? If those sealed files never get cracked open, does the truth die with them? Or will someone, maybe a former ROC Nation staffer, a shaken-up lawyer, or an ex-friend from Diddy's crumbling empire, finally break the code of silence? Because time is running out. And when official voices go quiet, the internet starts speaking louder. TikTok detectives are connecting dots. Reddit sleuths are pulling receipts. And the silence from the Carters is only fueling the fire. If any of these allegations are true, what happens to Jay-Z's billion-dollar legacy? Could one paternity test bring the whole empire crashing down? And most importantly, where is Reimer Satchel? Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you believe happened? And how far do you think the Carters would go to protect their throne? Stay curious, stay sharp, and remember the truth always finds a voice.